The Jest Joust comedy Calamity is sponsored by Quest Sound and Productions.
What's going on, ladies and germs, mofos and mofettes of the Fox's Lair? It is Monday night here at the Fox's Lair, and it is comedy night. This is the Jest Joust comedy Calamity. I am Happy Bones Jones, a.k.a. Woody Wood, if you ask him real nice, a.k.a. the Judge, a.k.a. they call me the most, chill like honey on toast, high from coast to coast, you know what I'm saying? I have been high in every state of our lower 48 multiple times. I was thinking about things today, about how much life has changed for me since I was born up, because I just had my 50th birthday on November 6th, right? So I was born at 11:06 a.m. on 11:06 in 1975, and my mama always said, "You magic because of that," and I was like, "Word, okay." And I remember one day thinking about how that, how many people would have that type of statistic number-wise, you know what I'm saying? Like, who could say that? How many people were born at 11:06 a.m. on 11:06 in 1975? I need to hunt these motherfuckers down, you know what I'm saying? See how many there is. But I was flipping through, you know, how you got your little streaming channels, whatnot, what have you. If you have more than 5, well, I don't know about this, if it's this way for you guys, but for me, this is how it goes. If I have more than 3 or 4, I start to forget how many I have and what they are. And then as I'm going through them, I'm like, oh shit, we got Paramount Plus too. Let me see what's on that, because I done looked at every fucking thing on all the other streaming platforms that I usually watch. And I wanted something new. So I go and look, and I see The Dark Side of the 90s. Now, I believe that they have this stock footage of a bunch of celebrities that are just talking about random stuff like Mount Vesuvius or Pompeii or whatever. And they're talking about it like the guy on Pawn Stars talks like he really knows about that thing. Like, this coin comes from the 1700s, blah, blah, blah. You know, and he's very versed on this particular object. Well, you'll have these, I think they have a bunch of stock footage of these celebrities where they just have it to where, you know, mysteries of the abandoned shit, I can just pick something out and Zach Wilde is saying something about, you know, Pompeii or whatever. And so they have the Dark Side of the 90s on there. It's documentary style, like testimonial interview style with all these people. And I saw the Geraldo incident. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but I talk about my first girlfriend being a black girl, and I tell a story about her middle name is Monique, and she got real drunk one time and told me that she wanted me to start calling her by her middle name, and I was like, word on God, okay, I can do that, no problem. And then I said, Monique, okay, cool. And she said, that's not how you say it. And I was like, how you say it? And she said, Monica. And I was like, that's not how you say that. I don't know. I can't say that way, especially in front of your family and friends or out in public.
That's close. Everywhere.
Right. So, but back then we used to watch trash television, what they called it. And Jerry Springer ended up being the king of this trash television shows. But the man who really like started it all was a man named Geraldo. And when the show was first on, it was called Geraldo, and he'd invite the Ku Klux Klan on there, thinking they was just going to have a civilized conversation about race. And that didn't work out. And famously, the whole studio erupted into a huge fucking brawl, and there was a chair that was thrown and hit Geraldo on the nose, broke his nose all the way to the side of his face. It was like, I didn't even know that your nose could be over here on the side of your face. And it stuck out a lot in my head, you know. But that was the beginning of it all. That was before Jerry Springer and before, Ricky Lake and all that crazy stuff where they wanted people to fight. And then towards the end of it, the point is that since then, it's nothing So my point is desensitizing. Okay. So is there anybody here that's under 25? Anybody under 25 say yay? Nobody's under 25?
Doug, you lying.
All right.
You lying.
All right. So is everybody over 30?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Everybody? No? There's an under 30 person? Okay. There's a couple under 30s. All right. So basically, this is the thing. In long time ago, there was a spaceship that had shot off into space, right? And it blew up on its way up, right? Now, whenever I was a kid, this happened whenever I was a little child baby, and they had it on the TV at school, and we watched this thing repeatedly 100 times during that day. Now, when I look back on it, it's mass trauma is what it is. It's mass trauma because they made us watch it over and over and over again as kids. Now here we are, all these years later. It turns out them motherfuckers wasn't even on that bitch. They all alive, and they working at Harvard as professors and shit. Some of them's doctors and shit. What's funny is the backstory is, oh no, that's my twin. He died on the Challenger, but he looked just like me. I'm his twin. It's crazy when you look into the evidence. It's crazy. You almost be like, this is for real. This has got to be for real. But I also believe that Paul McCartney might have died in 1964 in a car accident, and they replaced him. You know what I'm saying? Because they have not only do they have all those clues in all the damn albums and shit, right? It's basically saying that Paul had died and they replaced him. Well, in England, they had a Paul McCartney look-alike contest on TV, and they never announced a winner, right? And on the show was a man named William Shears. Billy Shears, huh? Yeah. And then after that, they decided they're not going to play live anymore. They're only going to be studio recording artists. They'll do videos and stuff like that. During the time whenever Paul has a beard is during points in time where they say he was a heroin user, right? This is towards the end where Let It Be and all that shit, Abbey Road started. Now, they also said that he would wear a beard because during some of his plastic surgery to make him look more like Paul, they would botch it up every once in a while. He had to cover it up with his beard. Now, crazy thing is that I could look at all the fucking evidence, and I've looked at all of the fucking evidence, like deep in there. And I'm like, I don't know if this is fucking Paul McCartney. I don't know if this is Paul McCartney, right? Because he was married to Linda. Linda died, right? And now Linda was a certain height. He's a certain height. But the original Paul McCartney was like 4 inches shorter. How's that work exactly? I don't understand how that works. He was like as tall as fucking Linda was. But now, okay, and then I'm getting into it. But my point is that I remember before there was a microwave. I remember before there's a documentary on Netflix right now. I think it's on Netflix. It's about Eddie Murphy. It's called Being Eddie. And whenever I was a kid, Eddie Murphy was fascinating to me. He was fascinating because Delirious was one of the first stand-ups I'd ever seen, and that shit was crazy to me. Ice cream! I was like, oh shit, okay, he's speaking my language. Then I fell in love with Robert Townsend. I don't know if y'all know who Robert Townsend is, but he was a stand-up back in the 80s. And I still say a phrase to this day from one of his bits where I say, Father, what's government cheese, Father? That's from Robert Townsend. I saw him on a show just recently. I can't remember what the show was. Do you remember what the show was? Oh, it's The Bear on Hulu. Yeah, the cooking show. Anyway, I'm ranting and I'm loving it. Okay, so, but basically, I remembered the first time that I faked being sick and was able to stay out of school, and the coolest thing in the world happened. Dad didn't have to work that day because it was raining. He's a construction worker. Can't rain, and you can't be out there building a house in the rain, so he was off, right? So he comes in, and he has this box with him, like it looks like a briefcase. It was a weird-looking briefcase, and I was like, what the fuck? He puts it on top of the TV and plugs some shit in, and then pulls out this other box and puts it inside this box, and he played a movie. And I was like, what is this magic? Because up to this point, there was no such thing, you know. You had to rent the VCR, and then rent the tape to play in the VCR. In the beginning, because VCRs were fucking expensive as shit. So, like, the first calculator was like this fucking big, and it was $350, like in 72 or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, that's just for reference. All right, so I remember he put in the tape, and the tape was Beverly Hills Cop. And that fucking music started, dun 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 dun, and I was like, "This is gonna be the best fake sick day ever." And since I was sick, and my mom always would buy it, she would always, "My baby's sick, my baby's sick," and Dad would be like, "Fucking playing you like a violin." Dad would finally just give up, and he'd be like, "Fuck it, okay, if you're gonna be sick, then you can't go outside." I'd be like, "Okay. You got to lay on the couch all day." "Okay, cool. It's raining anyway, man. That's cool." And he's like, "And we're going to watch these movies, and I'm going to show you this new technology." And I was like, "Well, this is amazing." And then we got our first microwave. And I was like, "Wait a second, you can cook bacon in this bitch?" Oh, it's on. Because Mom would not let me cook bacon on the stove because I would catch it on fire all the time. Yeah. And I was cooking before, like, when I would be like 3 years old, I would push the chair up to the fucking stove, and I would climb up on it, and then I would be like, "Oh shit, I forgot the eggs." And I would climb down and go over and get the eggs, and then I would crack the eggs, and if it fell out of the shell and landed on the counter before I got it into the pan, I would just get another egg, because there's like 12 of them. And then Mom would get up, and I had a black bottom and a raw top. And I just turned and look at her, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And this was back before fire alarms. We were going to die. So I always had this fascination with food, like I wanted to cook so bad, you know. But at the same time, I didn't have any concept of cooking actual slow and by the recipe, because I wanted everything to be done right fucking down, man. It's like Jell-O gelatin. I wanted it so bad. So I'll be like, "Mom, get me some cherry Jell-O gelatin from the grocery store." And that was one of the cheap things that we could get in the 80s, because $20 bill in the 80s was like a $500 bill. And so, and we were so fucking poor, y'all. It was ridiculous. I couldn't even tell you. But so she'd be like, "Oh, don't Jell-O." "Yeah, we can do that." So she'd get the 6-ounce thing of Jell-O. She'd make it, and then she would put it in the refrigerator. And I'd be like, "Okay, so when we can eat it?" And she's like, 4 hours.
Tomorrow.
And I'm like, "How long is that?" And she's like, "Well, you see where that hand is right there? Then you got to wait till the hand gets right there." And I was like, "The big hand?" She's like, "No, the little hand." I was like, "That's the slowest one." Like, I would go in there and be like, "Mama, I'm so hungry. When is dinner going to be ready?" And she'd be like, in about 1 hour. And I'm like, "How long is that?" She's like, 60 minutes. And I'm like, "Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And she's like, "That's seconds. Get the fuck out of here, man." And I'd be like, "Oh, shit. I don't know how time works." And so I'm fascinated by physics. You know, I think about string theory a lot, and I follow Michio Kaku. Michio Kaku is the Japanese physicist who actually did most of the groundwork for string theory, which string theory, if you don't know, is the construct. I don't know how many of you have done dimethylide tryptamine, which is DMT. Ayahuasca. Any ayahuasca people in here? No? All right, now you got to remember. You got to remember that I've been a psychonaut since I was like 15, I think. I did psychedelics before I smoked weed. Okay, that's how interested I was in it. And I would even, like, as a kid, I'd be like, man, because I had my best friend Sam. He was a black kid, lived next door to me, and we lived way out in Keysville, and we had like fucking, what do you call those things? Farms. We had farms around us. And so I would be like, man, let's sneak out of the house in the middle of the night and go out in those fields and see if we can find some of those mushrooms people talk about on TV they be eating. And they see things. And Sam, you know, I don't know if y'all have black friends, but black friends, they be like, hell no, I ain't doing that shit. You want me to go where? At night? And then eat something that's gonna make me see shit? No, hell no. I was like, all right, well, I ain't going to try to make you eat the mushrooms, but can we go together? Because I'm scared to go by myself. And he's like, okay, little bitch, okay, you know. I'm like, word, okay, I'm a little bitch for this, but it's fine because I wanted them really, really bad. Well, we did. We went out there, and this particular farm, my dad had sold this badass, like, old 78 Ford, 3 on the tree, like, straight 6, badass Ford truck. You know, it was back whenever they just had a motor and a fucking battery, man. That was it. I was like, I know how to work on that. Well, and I knew this about this fucking truck because my dad had sold it to the farmer, that you didn't need a key to crank it on, to turn it on, okay? So we're over there and we're looking. I see the fucking truck and it's parked like way far from the farmer's house. So I was like, hey, you know what? Let's go on a joyride, bro. Because it was a full moon. I was like, I think I could see the little 2-rut road. We'd be able to stay on it. Well, we started it up, you know, and we had already got us a little bag of mushrooms. I decided that it would be a good idea for me to like nibble on a little bit, you know what I'm saying, straight off the cow shit. Now, hindsight's always 20/20, right? You know, especially when you don't know what the fuck you're doing whenever you're doing it. But it's not suggested to do that because you can get hepatitis from doing that. So don't do that. Anybody that's thinking about, oh, that's a good idea, let me go walk around this field and get us some mushrooms. Now, later on, they started feeding this shit to the cows that would prevent them from being able to grow on their shit. The mushrooms wouldn't grow on the shit. Now, I don't know why the fuck the mushrooms grow on the shit. I don't know where they come from. Okay, outer space probably, because that's where all the information's coming from. I'm not kidding. So, I get in the truck. Sam gets in the truck. I crank the truck up. We take off. Well, we must have been a little bit too loud or something. Maybe the cows were mooing too loud or something. They alerted the farmer in the farmer's house. And so all of a sudden we see 2 4-wheelers. You know how you see 4-wheeler lights, headlights just off in the distance. You can hear ring, ring. You know, they're coming over the hill. Okay, well, they got over the hill way faster than we thought they were going to. And then all of a sudden they're behind us. And I was like, fuck it. And so I turned on the headlights so we could see better so I could haul ass, right? Yeah. Well, whenever I turned on the headlights, they didn't work. So I was like, okay, so now you can crank it, but you don't need lights because it's not road. There's no insurance on it. There's no tag. It doesn't go on the road. It's a farm truck. They use it on the farm. So they don't need lights, I guess. I was like, fuck. And I was trying my best to see the road, but all of a sudden there was a 90-degree turn, and we hit this fucking hill, and literally I'm like off the seat. Like, I was like, oh, fuck. And I remember thinking that, and that was the only time I had. Oh, fuck. That's about how much time I had. And I don't know if y'all have ever hit water in a vehicle going 45 miles an hour, but it's like hitting a fucking brick wall. You immediately stop. There's no bouncing. There's no glide. There's no skipping. It's just like, BAM! And then, like, my chest was like, clam, up against the steering wheel, you know? And then it sunk. And it sunk all the way to where you could barely see the top of the truck, right? And so me and Sam, we had to swim out of the fucking windows. And then we get to the bank, and we were struggling to get up, you know, because it's real muddy. We finally get up there, and we standing, and they put their lights on us. And they go, you boys are in big trouble, goddammit. And he runs that way, and I run that way. And we got away. The next day, fucking cop at my door, banging on the door. Mom, I could hear her talking to somebody. I was like, that sounds like somebody of authority. She's kind of cowing down to him. And my mom was an old ornery country woman. I'm pretty sure it was the police only the police she would do this for. Oh, hey, officer. Oh, what's that? You're looking, oh, what? Huh? Oh, hey, boy, get your ass in. Could you? Yeah, Mama. I come in there. And he goes, oh, this is your son? And she goes, yeah. And he goes, okay, well, never mind, man. We're looking for 2 colored boys. Because we were both covered in mud from head to toe.
Oh my God.
They didn't know I was white. I was like, what? So then I ran over to Sam's house, and I was like, they're on to us. They think we were both black, bro. He was like, what happened? And I was like, I walked up to the door, and he was like, we were looking for 2 colored boys. And then they just turned around and left. And I thought to myself, but how were they not? Why would they think, oh, yeah, we were both covered in mud? But at the point when it happened, you're not thinking, they can't see that I'm white right now. Which to me would be obvious, but I didn't have long hair, so it wouldn't be long stringy hair. I don't know. I was covered up though. But I told Sam, I was like, don't say anything, man. Don't say nothing. Well, it turns out Sam's not good at hiding stuff like me. Especially since I didn't have to hide, they just turned and walked away. They grilled Sam though, and finally Sam was like, I had to tell him the truth. And the next day we were in the principal's office. And I was like, well, what do we need to do, And they were like, you're going to have to go and work on his farm and work this off. And I was like, who decides how long we work on the farm? And he was like, the farmer. And I was like, I ain't signing off on that. And they're like, you have to pay restitution. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I can't pay restitution if I don't know what the fuck the restitution is. There has to be a limit. There has to be a ceiling. You can't tell me to go over to a farmer's house and do work that the farmer says for as long as the farmer says do it until the farmer decides that it's done. You got to give me, I need a goal. And they were like, yeah, we don't do that with kids. We tell you what you have to do. Now, of course, my dad being my dad, outlaw biker, he was like, yeah, no, the fuck you ain't. No, the fuck you ain't going over there. No, So he takes me to the farmer's house. We're bypassing the school at this point. We go straight, we're bypassing the cops, everybody. We go straight to the farmer. The farmer knows my dad somehow, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, he sold him the fucking truck. And he goes, hey, my dad, they called him Mike back then. Hey, Mike, hey, Mike. And I could tell in his voice that he saw me and he saw Dad. He knew why Dad was there. I didn't know, because I'm a little boy and I don't have social cues. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on in the adult world at this point. They get up there and he says to me, I'm at the bottom of the steps, he's like, stay here. I was like, oof, okay. That's very stern. Dad gets up there and he walks right up to the guy like they're nose to nose, right? And he goes, and the guy goes, oh, yes, sir. Yeah, that's fine. That works fine. And then we walked away. And as we're walking back to my house, which is a quarter mile away down this fucking gravel road, I asked Dad, I was like, Dad, what'd you say to him? What do I have to do? And he was like, you ain't got to do shit. And I was like, what does that mean? I ain't got to go and pay restitution? And he's like, fuck no. And I was like, why? And he's like, 'cause I sold him that truck, but then I stole a tractor from him and sold the tractor. And so I told him that if he tries to go after my son, there's going to be some other items come up missing off his farm. And I was like, you can do that? That's something you can do? And he's like, no. I could do that. You don't do stuff like this. He was a big do as I say, not as I do type person. He would always be like, if you steal something and I get a call from the police saying you in jail for stealing, I'm going to leave you in there to teach you a lesson. And then he turns around 2 days later and tells me he stole a tractor from the farmer. I'm like, what kind of logic is this? I don't know. And I was always that way with adults when I was growing up. I was always like, hey, how are they in charge? What the fuck? Who gave them the authority to be in charge of all of this and be able to tell me? And I know that they're lying. Either they're lying or they believe this, which makes them incredibly dumb. And this was religious stuff really baffled me, because I was always that kid in the fucking youth ministry that would ask questions. Like whenever it came up to them telling us about the 10 Commandments. Okay, I could dig it. Most of the 10 Commandments is common fucking sense, man. Don't steal from another dude, because that dude might kill you and he'd be righteously doing so, right? And don't covet the dude's wife because that's his old lady, and don't do that. That's not cool. That's common sense, right? Don't kill somebody. Hey, I got it. Because I, one time, accidentally killed a frog playing with it too rough, and I felt really bad about it. I felt really bad. So I was like, at that moment, I was like, I am not a killer. If I can't kill a frog, I'd have a hard time killing a human. Now, a lot of people, this is the thing, though. This is the thing. People will say, if this happened, I'm going to do this. Well, let me tell you from experience, having been a person that's done about everything you possibly could do as a human and still stay alive, it's really scary when you are in certain situations where you think that you're going to have to do something that you always thought you'd be able to do, but in that moment you're like, fuck, I can't do this. One instant would be I was running a head shop back in the 90s. And this guy came in trying to... A head shop? A head shop is where you go to buy accessories to smoke illegal substances with it. Back then, you couldn't even say, hey, man, let me see that weed pipe. Back then, you'd have to say, may I see that water filtration smoking device, please? Water bong. You couldn't even say water bong. Water smoking filtration device. Yeah. And so I'm running the head shop, right? Modern age tobacco shop out in Hellsville, actually. 95, I think it was. Yeah, free plug, bitches. I don't fuck with them no more, so don't go there. And so, head shop, you have I fucking totally lost my train of thought where I was going with all of this, but it was going to be amazing. I just went off track.
My bad.
Yeah, see what happened there. But I cannot remember my track of thought. So fuck you, Doug.
Yep.
I hate you. Oh, but so recently I was thinking about how the most craziest part of all of this, growing up with all this shit, like before. Now my dad, of course, I'd be like, "You remember before TV? What'd y'all do?" And he'd be like, "I can't remember." I'd be like, "All y'all did was watch the fireplace with the fire." And he was like, "No, we listened to radio. We would listen to radio shows." And I'd be like, "Okay, that's cool. That's cool." Recently, I heard a poll was done where people were asked if you could only have one form of entertainment for the rest of your life. You have to pick one form of entertainment for the rest of your life. I did not think the answer that came out would be the answer, but a massive majority of the people said music, live music would be the only thing. And I always thought, oh shit, these motherfuckers is like, live music's dying, you know what I'm saying? They do that over sports and movies. And I was like, fuck yeah, we're coming back, woo! I play music too, by the way. So, but I was like, you gotta mix in the comedy with the music and do it all that way. But the thing that really blew my mind was that we walk around. Whenever I was a little kid, there was miniature TV came out. Little miniature TV, looked like an AM radio or whatever, and it had a big long antenna. And I was like, "Ooh, I want one of those so bad, so I can watch TV in school, cause fuck school, right?" And I never got one because we were poor as fuck. I didn't even get a PlayStation until like the PlayStation 1, and I was like in my 30s. I can't even remember. So it's the phone. It's the fucking phone, man. We basically walk around now with a little TV in our fucking hand, and that little TV, I can tune anything in on it. And there's no wires connected to anything. There's no antenna. And then I can take a picture of y'all, right? And then I can fucking, in 10 seconds, I can send it to somebody in Japan, which is on the other side of the fucking planet, right? And you're like, how the fuck I didn't do anything like, and then you think about Willy Wonka, whenever the little boy, he wanted to be in the TV, and he like turned, I was like, oh, that's how it works. I know. I paid attention. But that's the thing also, it's like, now we have, I don't know if y'all are big literature people, but Shakespeare once said that there will be a time when everyone's going to get their 15 minutes of fame. And he also said that that the whole world is a stage. Now, in my eyes, since I was a little kid, I've known this. I'm like, all these motherfuckers are programmed actors. And depending on your program is how your fucking system works. your whole life and your whole sensory of what you experience in your life is individual to you. No one else will ever know exactly what it's like to be you in your life right now. But you can document that shit as much as you want and try to show people who you really are through the social media. But this is the point. They'll never really know. And it's more distance from me sitting down, actually feeling your vibration face to face and hearing your tone in your voice and your inflections and words and certain words and how you put them together. It tells a lot about a person. I don't write or text the way that I speak in person. So that's another layer of separation that's happening there. So now you've got kids that are coming up and they're like, man, I'm gonna climb on top of that fucking radio tower right there with a selfie stick and I'm gonna video myself doing a handstand on top of that bitch. And I'm gonna go viral. And I'm like, shit, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. And then the other day I saw, this whole fucking EBT thing happening. Now, I'm not trying to say that the public assistance ain't a thing that we should have as a society. Hey, you know what I'm saying? For people that really need it, that's all good. But I've known since I was a kid, so many motherfuckers that sold their fucking food stamps. Now, what's crazy is like they get 50 cents on a dollar, right? So for every dollar food stamp, you will give them 50 cent cash. So if somebody has $400 in food stamps, you give them $200, then you take your ass to the food stamp or to the grocery store, blah, blah, blah. Well, now, back in the day, they used to have a little ticket card, look like a coupon card, look like a little book. They would give it to you at the beginning of the month. They don't do that no more. You actually had to go down to the food stamp office to get it physically handed to you. Now, they gave you an EBT card. The EBT card cannot be used by anybody other than you because it's got your fucking name on it, okay? So now whenever they sell the food stamps, bitch got to give you a grocery list and you got to go to the grocery store and actually buy it. So that's going to drive the cost of the food stamps up, you know what I'm saying? So now we're looking at 75 cents on a dollar. It starts to not be worth it. And then the bitch starts substituting shit. I did not say you... substitute non-organic for something that was organic on the list. Yeah, but this is the same. No, it's not the fucking same, okay? This is processed trash. All you gotta do is throw it in the oven. It's ready to cook right now. I'm like, that's the whole fucking point. I didn't want it. But so, and this happens today. Whenever I do, because I'm a lazy motherfucker, my favorite thing to do is hang out on the couch with Raven, watching stupid shit on the TV. And this is how we watch TV, too. I was just telling Doug about this. This is how we do it, okay? A scene will happen. The lady chef is talking to the male chef, and they're getting heated. And then all of a sudden, they do this, and they're like, sorry, chef. And they de-escalate the situation, and then they go back to work. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's how you do it. And I was like, and like after the scene's over, I'll tap Raven and I'll be like, hey, that lady was really, really mad at that man, and they had it out, but then they apologized, and they went back to work. And she goes, yeah, that's what happened. And I'll do it every fucking scene. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I do that. And also I pick shit apart because I've worked on movie sets and I've worked on TV sets doing stagehand work, and you see behind the scenes. And so, like, we love The Voice. Y'all watch The Voice? Y'all like people singing and shit? It brings tears to y'all's eyes and shit. I be getting emotional and shit. Every fucking person on The Voice, they got the fucking story. And then my mom got cancer, and then, oh my God. And I'm like, fucking hell, get to the singing, okay? Let's skip all this. But I would, they go in, they see the mentors, the master mentor, right? They walk in, and it's Joe Walsh sitting there. Now, these people are 22, 23 years old. Do they really know who Joe Walsh is? Maybe, because Joe Walsh is very fucking famous, right? Or they know who Joe Walsh is, but they don't know what he looks like, and so they're just faking it whenever they walk in the room. Oh, shit, I can't believe it, fucking Joe Walsh. But one thing they're definitely not doing is doing a testimonial interview in the back going, he has 9 Grammys, for Christ's sakes. He has traveled the world his whole life. He's been with the greatest band ever. He's done it, and you're like spouting all stats. And I'll stop it and I'll say, Raven, right here, you know what they're doing? The producer is stopping the whole thing, and they're like, all right, these are the stats of this artist. I need you to spout a few off. And you can tell whenever they're like not good actors, and they're like, he has 9 Grammys, and he plays to huge crowds all over the world. And you're like, you don't know who the fuck you're talking about, do you? I think he's a guitar player. I don't know. But it's funny because Joe Walsh is like one of those real motherfuckers. And they're like, man, it's so crazy to be mentored by somebody as big as Joe Walsh. And Joe Walsh, and then they go to a clip of him saying, I could definitely tell you what not to do. I was like, hey, that's what you need. You need somebody to show you the pitfalls of the shit. Because when I first started doing this show, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I got on Kill Tony, and I was talking to Tony about my dad getting to the age where I'm going to have to come off the road because I was traveling a lot, and I was performing a lot out there. And whenever you do stand up, you really need to fucking keep it sharp, and you need to keep that muscle going. You need to keep it rolling, you know? And so I'm talking to Tony, and he's like, I said, yeah, I got to get off the road to help take care of my dad. And, there's a dead zone right there in Augusta. You got to drive like 2 hours to any good spot to get up on stage. And also, I'm not known as a comedian in that area, so it's going to be a while for me to build it up, blah, 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 fucky blah. He was like, well, you book yourself for shows doing music, right? And I was like, oh, yeah? And he's like, yeah, you should do that for comedy. And I was like, oh, that's how it works. Like, I thought there was some kind of, like, magic fairy or something. You had to get to this point, and then he'll be like, hey, man, let me help you out. This is the world of comedy. No, you can make it for yourself. So he was like, go ahead and create a show. Hell, bite off of my format. And I said, say less, motherfucker, because this is about identical, okay? I mean, I did give the comedians 7 minutes. I do put a premise up on the website. It is technically a competition. I do have the judges that go back and forth with the comedians, like in a formatted way instead of freestyle like it is on Kill Tony. Whoever has an idea just jumps in, which in the beginning was my idea for the whole thing anyway. I was like, oh, that would be good, we'll find judges that were, good and witty and off the cuff. That's why I had my brother Joe Bone here for so long, because he's really good at that shit. But man, I cannot get him. I can't get this motherfucker to answer my text. Let me tell you about this motherfucker. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Now, I feel bad because, I have done stuff, during our time growing up together that has caused him strife. And I'm sorry for that. And I apologize for that already, okay? But, he texts me. I don't know, it's probably been, it's been about a year ago now, but it seems like it was just a couple of months ago. And he's like, you want to go to our niece's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese? And I was like, yeah, no, and yeah, no. And he's like, yeah, but I need a ride. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm sorry. Uber? And he's like, I ain't got no money like that. And I was like, well, what the fuck you gonna do at Chubby Checkers? He's like, it's Chuck E. Cheese. He's like, it's Chuck E. Cheese, and they got free pizza and wings, bro. And I was like, ooh, shit, how you gonna wash that down, though? And he's like, fucking soda. They got free soda, too, man. I was like, oh, no beer? This was back when I drank. It was like, no beer. I was like, well, I don't know. I might need some more convincing. And he was like, well, I'll give you $20. Just come pick me up. I was like, all right. Fuck it. I'll do it. I don't know if y'all been to Chuck E. Cheese lately, but it's like going through TSA at the airport. They had like fucking robot like things following us, and they took pictures of us. They ran our IDs. Now the little lady is putting these wristbands on us, little green wristbands on us. And I'm like, what the fuck is this for? And I don't know why she said it, but she goes, will y'all be leaving with any children tonight? And without missing a beat, my brother goes, oh, we gonna look around and see if there's anything we like. And I was like, why are you saying that when you rubbing your titty like that? I was like, we're going to get arrested. And sure enough, the damn security guard comes over and says, like, is there going to be a problem here, sir? And I was like, no, he's just kidding. And then he chimes up again. No, I trip a little kid up. I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, dude, you're not helping us, man. This is not cool. And so right about that time, I'm thinking they're calling 911. I'm sure of it, you know. And then luck comes from the heavens. Now, this is where I'm going back full circle on us living in this simulation. I was talking about string theory. That's right, string theory, Michio Kaku. That's correct, yes. String theory is whenever in the middle of the atoms that make up everything in this construct, DMT, will break the construct down. That's why I mentioned that. And the little string inside of the atom puts out a frequency. That frequency decides what that atom is going to do and be. I'm going to be a brick, so I'm going to get with all these other brick atoms. And we're going to be a brick in the fox's lair for as long as the fox's lair is the fox's lair. Ever since pinch gut, get a nut. That was a secret code word whenever this was the actual speakeasy back in Prohibition days. So, it all is frequency and vibration, right? So you're looking at frequency, you look at vibration. You're like, okay, these atoms go with these atoms. Everything works together in a certain perfect kind of way. And then I can't do anything else but be okay with it and then just ride it out. Because when you really look at everything, you realize that you're kind of the person that's making everything happen. And whenever you become what I would call the ultimate observer, that is the you behind the you that's the character playing the life. Then you're observing yourself as in looking at your thoughts from a different point of view, like they're children in a fucking sandbox playing and acting stupid. And then you can actually look at your inner dialogue and be like, you a stupid hell. You stupid as hell. And then you can start working against that programming that everybody tries to fucking make you into a robot, what they want you to be. Right. So if you look at all of that and you realize that I'm the one that's making all of this happen, then I'm controlling whether or not I get arrested tonight at the Chuck E. Cheese. So, what I do is I think to myself, man, it'd be really great if something distracted this security guard right now. And sure enough, two families not related to my family brawl. They break into a brawl in the Chuck E. Cheese. Like there's 30 adults like going at it like MMA style. It was crazy. Wigs going everywhere, bitches getting slapped with wigs. It was crazy. And I was like, damn, look at that. And I could see the kids like trying to break. Y'all stop, man. This is foolishness. This is foolishness. And then they finally gave up. It was like, I don't give a fuck. Y'all beat y'all shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna drive home tonight. This is bullshit. I don't need no daddy. And so that's my cue, right? I'm leaving. I'm halfway out to the car because I ain't waiting for the police to get there. I don't mix well with them. I don't like answering questions, and that's all they fucking do. I don't know if y'all noticed that. That's all the cops. These motherfuckers want to know something about your life, and I'm like, I'm private, okay? But basically, I'll get out to the car. Halfway out to the car, I hear Joe Bone bust out the fucking door. He's holding our fucking niece in his arm like this, running. He got pizza in his hand. He's like, but pizza though. Free pizza though. You forgot? I was like, motherfucker, I ain't going back in there. I'm still getting to the car. I get into the car. He's still coming at me. I'm like, take our niece back where she's supposed to be at. This is not, why do you have her? And all of a sudden, the damn cops come up, bust their lights on, and surround my car. Like I did something wrong. I was like, I am not inside the Chuck E. Cheese right now. There's a brawl in there. There's kids in danger. Get in there, man. Well, they saw Doug with a little baby underneath his arms with two pieces of, Doug, it's Joe Bone. Joe Bone, sorry, we're close too. And he's eating the pizza, and they're like, put the child down, sir. And he's like, oh, this is my niece. It's all good. He's like, put the child down. He's like, put it down. And then they're like, stop resisting. And he's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just standing here. And then they tackled him, and he got road rash. And it was a sad situation. But, eventually they figured out that the whole rumbling was going on inside Chuck E. Cheese. And by that time, our sister had came out and was like, that little girl is his niece, and it's okay for him to be carrying her like that. I was like, first of all, that is not good parenting. I don't know where you got your parenting style. Oh, our parents. Never mind. It all came together. And then she went home and ate a handful of pain pills and let her baby drown in the tub. See how easy it is to emotionally manipulate you motherfuckers? Y'all were upset. Like, I know that bitch did not. Let the baby drown in the tub? Yeah, did you know the baby could drown in the tub? With 2 inches of water in the tub. That tub was full. Okay, that tub was full. That baby was floating. Call me before they call the cops. I go in there, I'm like, yeah, that baby's done. That baby's done. Hot water scorched him up. I was like, what y'all got y'all hot water heater set on? They're like, we got it full turned up. Don't that the way you spoke? No, that's 290 degrees. You will boil somebody alive. See the way the skin's coming off that baby? I'm just kidding. All these are jokes. Now, this is the crazy thing. I've always been pro-choice. Like, you know, you do what you want with your body. As long as you're not hurting anybody else. Wait, maybe my logic might be flawed. But anyway, I've always been pro-choice because I ain't the one going to hell if I make a decision like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not my decision, okay? So I don't have to choose. You know what I'm saying? And there is no hell, so fuck me, right? There's no hell. There's only good vibrations and bad vibrations. There's dark and there's light. There's duality. Duality is necessary for growth. Contrast is necessary for growth. You came here for that growth. You came here for a 10-year doctorate that you can do in 1 year. It's a very steep learning curve, people. And if you don't know that you can be the creator of the game, which is above the ultimate observer. So the ultimate observer is the you that can analyze your own thoughts. You can actually say, where did that thought come from? Who said that? Where is the origin of that thought? Like, don't get me fucking started on these fucking medicine commercials. They give you the list of side effects. And then I'm pretty sure that whatever the fuck they're trying to fix, they made it up. They made it up. Like Sky Rizzy, they heard Snoop Dogg say that word, and they were like, you know what? That would be a good word for a fake medicine where I can make people believe they got eczema, and this will fix it. It's in a purple bottle. Prince. Royalty. That's right. Now, the crazy thing is that if you think about it, if we got any Harry Potter fans, speaking of, this is the craziest shit that happened to me last night. Anybody got pets? All right, sometimes your pets have to make you get up in the middle of the night because they got to go outside and pee, right? Mine does that to me a lot lately. Well, last night he did that to me at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And there's only one light that works in our cul-de-sac, and it don't really work that well. It like comes completely on, and then it goes off. And then it takes like 5 minutes for that bitch to build back up and come on again. Well, at its height, I saw something out of my peripheral moving in shadows, and I was like, what the fuck is that? I turned and looked, and it was an owl. It was the biggest fucking owl I've ever seen in my life, and it was coming straight at me, and I was like, what the fuck did I do? And right as it looked like it was gonna land on my head, I was like starting to wince, like, what the fuck? Come on, Red, hurry up. And that's my dog. And it dropped an envelope in my hand. It was an acceptance letter to Hogwarts. And so I'm going to be a wizard soon. And that's cool. But the bad thing is, you know, in Harry Potter, the wizard's Harry's, right? And so I thought, okay, well, this is my fucking owl. And so it's going to come back and give me further instructions. Well, I don't know where to go to for orientation. And I haven't seen the owl since. So I just been running into random brick walls, hoping that I'll pop in on the other side and be like, I'm here. I'm ready to do magic. You know what I'm saying? And they'd be like, no, you read the ad wrong. We were looking for a janitor. But in Harry Potter, in the later stuff, after, you know, my son was growing up, he didn't care about Harry Potter anymore, but I did, so I would secretly watch movies. They have this one where Johnny Depp's in it, and there's this thought form. It's called a squibble or squabble or something like that. Anyway, I've always known that thought forms were real. Thought forms, that's a thing, right? Now, going back to the medicine. Now, the commercial's telling me about Skyrizi, and it fixes this thing. And if enough of us believe that that thing is a thing, it is a fucking thing. That's how manifestation works, bitches. So if they say you got restless leg syndrome, I'm like, I ain't never heard of that in my whole life. I ain't never been sitting beside somebody and they constantly moving their legs, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And they're like, I got restless legs. You don't know about this? It's a real thing. No, it's not a real thing. They made that up, and they made you believe that it's a real thing, and now it's a fucking real thing. Thanks a lot. You made this happen. But if you could be the ultimate, behind the ultimate observer, you be the creator of the game. I'm gonna put you on some crazy shit right now. Hare Krishna traveled the world, spoke in front of thousands of people. And all they wanted was him to tell them, how do we do this fucking thing called life? What's the fucking answer, right? One day, Hare Krishna's like, you know what, fuck it. Y'all want the answer? And they're like, fuck yeah. They're leaning in close, hanging on every fucking moment, waiting to hear the answer. And he's like, I don't give a fuck about what happens to me. I don't give a fuck about what happens to me, because I know I can control how I react to whatever happens to me out here that I have no control over. That's the secret. When you identify as something, your mind over evolution, to keep us alive and to keep us moving our DNA forward, you didn't want to be banned from the tribe because you might not ever have sex again, or you might not ever have friends again. And you'll die alone out in the woods. Might get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. I don't know how things work back then. But the one thing's for sure is your mind starts to create ways to make you survive without you even knowing that it's doing it to you, right? So basically your mind's like, I'm a fucking Browns fan. And every time the Browns lose, I feel so bad. Now, Browns fans, they're not really that way because the Browns lose so much that he's used to it. But you talk to a Dallas Cowboys fan about some shit like that, and they get straight up emotional, slapping the table, making people's beers fall over and shit. They should have never traded that mother. I don't give a fuck. I don't pay attention to things like that. But if you identify and attach yourself to these worldly things, and then someone attacks your thing, it doesn't even matter if what they are saying is the exact factual truth, and you must face it. You can't, because it is fucking with your whole identity. And whenever it does that, your brain takes over. And it says, no, the fuck you ain't gonna tell me. The fuck you, I'm a Browns fan till the day I die. They will win someday. At least one game.
No, they won't. No, they won't. No, they won't. And it's cool.
See, I was trying to help him out. I was trying to fix something in his brain that's broken. But you cannot do it, okay? No one can fix their broken brain until they're ready to have their broken brain fixed.
Yeah.
Here's your broken brain.
Yeah, right.
I took mine to the shop, and whenever I got it back, it hadn't never worked right. But they told me they were going to fix it. It was going to be A-okay. And then a little girl named Ariana Grande, she fucking slipped. No, this is real. She flipped a fucking wing on Hot Ones from one side. They got those long skinny plates, right? Now, the wing from this end flipped up in the air and landed on the other side of the plate, facing in the opposite direction, and nobody touched it. Nobody touched that motherfucker, and guess what she said? Guess what she said? Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Bitch is a witch. Okay. She do magic on the regular. She was on the red carpet. She was like, they asked her something about something she had just did, some wicked thing, right? And she goes, and you can look this up. You can look this up if you want to. I am not lying. I'm dead ass serious. She said, oh, they just did that thing where, they slate your memories and they erase some of your memories. I think that might have been one of them that they erased, so I don't really remember that, so I'm sorry. And I was like, that's some eternal spot of the mind fucking craziness right there. I knew that was a real thing. And have y'all ever heard of MK Ultra? Maybe not. I don't know how many of these people around 30 know about this stuff, because this happened back in the day. First off, Charlie Manson was a CIA operative. Charlie Manson was a CIA operative. He was involved in a MK Ultra. In the Haight-Ashbury area of San Francisco, they would take kids that would come to San Francisco to be hippies and live the flower power life. And they would say, hey man, we'll give you some money if you come in here and be part of these experiments we're doing. It was a little fucking clinic in Haight-Ashbury that would give away free health care. Okay, you gotta be careful when you hear shit that's free. They would go in there and they would dose them up with huge fucking doses of LSD and try to see if they could split their personalities into two separate personalities. It's called a Manchurian candidate. Then they can train the split personality to be anything that they want, up to the point to where they are an expert marksman that could shoot like 700 fucking yards and hit a fucking fly on top of a ding dong. I don't know what the fuck people use to keep flies in place, but I think a ding dong would work. And that's what happened with Sirhan. That's what happened with Mark Chapin that killed John Lennon. That's what happened with the guy that shot Reagan.
And Harambe.
These are Manchurian candidates, and this is how I can prove it. There is a English hypnotist. His name is Darren Williams, I think. But just put in Darren Manchurian candidate and the fucking YouTube thing will pop up. This motherfucker took an Orpheum Theater like the Miller, right? And he put a whole fake audience in there that was in on it. He got an actor that was in on it. First, he would put an ad in the newspaper. He found all these people. He took, like, out of 500 people, he took one person that was the most susceptible to being hypnotized, right? He took that person to the side and then split the personality, and then would had intervals where he would meet the person, put them into the hypnotic state, teach them a certain skill, which in this particular instance was murder, assassin, and teach him how to shoot the gun and everything, and then put him back in his little spot like it never fucking happened. He did this over like a 2-week period. Then it ended up, he got a free ticket to go and see one of these actors that's speaking at the Orpheum that he loves. Well, a lady walks past him with a handkerchief with a certain symbol on it, and she says a phrase like, the ding dong had the fly on it. And all of a sudden he goes and touches his forehead like this, and goes into this trance state, reaches underneath his, I don't know how he knew it was there. It was a gun under his shit. He opens it up, puts the gun together, and then he stands up and shoots the actor that's standing on stage. Now the actor was in on all this, and the packs blew up, and he looked like he died. The kid just drops the gun and starts to walk out. They grab him, pull him out of the crowd, take him out of the hypnotic state, and then they show him the video of him doing this. This motherfucker is not a good actor. He's a normal human being, and you could tell it because when he broke down, he looked like he was losing his fucking mind. He was like, how the no, and the tears were so big, snot bubbles, fucking can't breathe, like on the fucking ground in the fetal position, 5 people around him, producers coming from behind the cameras like, oh my God, what do we do? And then you're like, well, you shouldn't have fucking did this to this person. They're probably fucking traumatized as fuck right now. And they waited for 15 minutes or something like that to finally tell him, it was all a ruse, dude. The guy's alive. The actor's alive. You didn't actually shoot him. I'm like, y'all should have told him that. And the minute he started getting on that floor, acting like his mama did. Yeah, come in with that. But the thing is, I might be remembering the whole thing wrong, and it might have been 30 seconds. But this is how the manipulation of the mind works, okay? Okay? It's emotional manipulation. So, the guy's like, I can't believe this happened. Darren's like, see, this is proof that Manchurian candidate shit happens. And then nobody cares. Nobody knows about it. Nobody thinks about it. I ask people all the time about stuff like this, and they're like, what? MK Ultra? What? Butterfly? What butterfly? Wizard of Oz? The fuck are you talking about, man? I'm like, first off, they are not aliens, okay? They're interdimensional creatures that live in the same dimensional space that we live in. We just can't see them all the time. If they want us to see them, they'll let us see them. But, they can't always see them. That's fucking awesome, bro. That's pretty good. He just handed me a note that says, it's 9 p.m., you just did an hour. And I said, you know what? How many motherfuckers should be paying me right now?
Yeah.
I had a show a few weeks back, and this guy, Lance Weiss, was here. And Lance is a national touring fucking comedian. He's worked with names that I was like, oh, really? What was he like? Oh, what was he like? Right? But I didn't ask Lance about his life because, I barely knew the dude, right? And I'd never seen any of his comedy. I didn't even know if he was funny. Still don't, because he did not perform. He got smack silly drunk sitting right there. And then at the end of the show, and at the end of the show, I was like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and hand the show over to Lance. And Lance is like, oh, yeah, this has been fun. Good night. And I was like, no, the fuck. I agreed to pay you more than I pay the other comedians, motherfucker. You better do. So next time he's going to do it for free. I'm just saying. But anyway, I did like 45 minutes that night opening the show because the headliner didn't show up. The closer didn't show up. And I always feel like I need to give the people their fucking money's worth, right? I mean, shit, y'all came down here for a show. I should entertain you. It's up to me. It's my fucking show. If nobody shows up, then it's up to me, right? It's up to me. So I do the 45 minutes, and then we're starting the show. Got comedians coming up. And he just stops in the middle of the show, and he's like, I just want to say, it's very impressive what Happy Bones Jones just did tonight. You know how hard it is to stand up there and talk for 45 minutes? And now, he wasn't as funny as I would like. And I don't know why his voice is like an old man from, like, he's Nixon or something. I don't know, he's Nixon. I'm not a crook. And then we have these other comedians that would come in here, and every once in a while we'll have an Italian comedian come in here, and I've always secretly wanted to be Italian, and I always secretly wanted to be in the mob, okay? And so I don't know what it is about me, but whenever I go to a Mexican restaurant, I start to use a fucking Mexican accent. Oh yeah, can I get the tacos, man? Come, vatos locos forever. And my friends are like, stop doing that, bro. That's racist. And then every time, like my very first, really, the big comedy movie that I fell in love with when I was a kid first, and bigger than Beverly Hills Cop, was Rocky. I don't know if y'all knew that Rocky was a comedy, but it is. It's a comedy. Just watch the scene where him and Creed are running with those short shorts on the beach. And they're so excited to give each other a hug in the waist-deep water. And water's everywhere, splashing as foam here. And then that scene whenever he takes Adrian out for their first date, and she's all hemmed up in this little-ass hall, and he's all hulking over, and he's like, oh, hey, I'm gonna kiss you now. I'm like, is this the dialogue that he wrote? Because I don't think that's very forceful. That's violent. Because if I was Adrian and this big ass, I mean, like, he's fucking 40 inches wide, this big ass motherfucker. He's like, I won't kiss you now. Like, I'm not going to be like, I know the fuck you ain't, big dog. Come on, Cletus, come on. I don't know why his name was Cletus just then. Flashback to Eddie Murphy, one of the greatest to ever fucking do it. As far as I'm concerned, as far as my look at comedy, I think Eddie Murphy is one of the greatest to ever do it. Now, if you look back at his old stand-ups, they're not that great. I mean, honestly, they're a little bit rudimentary in a lot of aspects. But I felt the same way about Richard Pryor, and nobody ever fucking talks about it. I don't know why, but I don't know what else to say about it. Then you have your heady comedians like Carlin. Now, George Carlin, whenever he came on, I was like, I would have to watch his special 2 or 3 times to get the fuck what he was saying. Like, wait, hold on, but can we rewind this, Dad? No, I want to watch the whole thing all the way through. I'm done with you wanting to rewind it and watch the fucking bit 3 times in a row. Yeah, but I'm trying to learn, Daddy. He's like, what, you going to be a comedian? I don't know. I'm 5. But I'll tell you exactly whenever I figured this shit out. I was like 6, I think. I had figured out how manifestation works because this is what it was, okay? I wanted a dirt bike. I wanted a motorcycle so bad. I wanted it more than anything in this fucking world, bro. And I went for a year. I asked my dad, I was like, you know what? I want a motorcycle for Christmas. He was like, yeah, fat chance. We're broke. You eating mayonnaise sandwiches tonight for dinner. I don't know how you think you're going to get a motorcycle. And I was like, okay, touche, motherfucker. I'm going to work on it. And at that moment, I'm thinking, I'm going to get a job that I make money at when I grow up. That was the stupidest thought you could have ever had as a child. I'm glad I grew out of it. But I would go outside, and every day I would pretend like I'm riding a motorcycle around our yard. Ween, ween, ween. I would jump shit. I would do wheelie. Ween, ween, ween. You know what I'm saying? I would rev it to the highest RPMs. You know, it was awesome. And do you know what happened? On my 5th birthday, November 6th, I turned 5. December 25th, I woke up to the sound of a 2-stroke engine running in my fucking living room and the smell of gasoline being expelled from an exhaust pipe. And I was like, oh my God! Is that what I think it is? And I jumped out of my bed, I ran in there, and sure enough, my dad's standing there, and he's like, run, run, run. You're supposed to be sitting over here. This is Josh Cascade right here. Come on, sit over here, man. We're about to do the show. And then on Christmas, on Christmas Day, I get that, right? This is Josh Cascade, everybody. And I was like, well, how did this happen? Now, whenever I was a kid, I actually didn't realize what I'd done until a few weeks ago. I realized, I was like, oh shit, that's how manifestation works. I put myself in the position of knowing what it felt like to have a motorcycle, knowing what it felt like, knowing what it smelled like, knowing what this engine sounded like, right? And then I went and I asked my dad. I was like, Dad, I'm curious. You remember whenever I was 5 and I got that YZ80, that Yamaha? It was a badass dirt bike. It was my first dirt bike. It started my whole fucking life. And he was like, yeah, I remember that. I was like, how'd you get it? He said, that's funny. I've never told you how I got that. I was like, no, I've never thought about it. This motherfucker said to me, I was speaking with a friend of mine at a biker party. A unknown person who I do not know came up to me and heard me over talking with my friend that you wanted a dirt bike for Christmas. And I felt bad because I would never be able to afford one to give it to you. Unless maybe I found a basket case and I was able to put it together myself, and I'm not that mechanically inclined. So he knew that he wasn't going to be able to give me the motorcycle. Well, this random person that he did not know came up and he was like, hey man, my son just passed away. I got this YZ80 sitting in the garage. You come and get it and give it to your son for free. That's how manifestation works. Because the universe has to give it to you. Your frontal lobe is the Titanic, right? The top part of the Titanic. That's where the captain is, right? The guys underneath that's shoveling the coal into the fucking reactors, into the engines to make the pistons move, to make the whole thing work. They can't see what the fucking captain can see. That's your frontal lobe. Your subconscious is the fuckers down in there shoveling the coal, okay? Now, if the captain tells them full speed ahead, they don't know what they're going towards, so they just do it blindly because the captain told them to. That's how you reprogram your subconscious. You make your frontal lobe believe that thing is in your life right now. You feel the emotions of what it is to be that thing, to be in that place, to have that life. And it will come to you because it has to come to you because that's how creating the game works. That's how creating your life works. So when you are sitting, and everybody should do this, in mindful silence, i.e. meditation, in whatever form you take it in, you remember to take a few moments to decide how you want tomorrow to go. And then you do that so much that you start to see the patterns appear in your life. And you're like, fuck, this is fucking working. Happy Bones Jones is fucking magic. And I will take all the credit for it. Y'all can praise me online and be like, you know what that motherfucker taught me? Oh shit, let me put you on game, right? Y'all can do it. Y'all can be just like me and have everybody ostracize you and think that you're fucking crazy. I wanted to be a musician from a very young age, so I've been playing music for a living for 15, since I was 15. I just turned 50, so I don't know how much that is. But that's a lot. 35 years. I just started doing comedy. I love doing comedy. I love it. Because this is what I realized in the middle of me doing it. There's nothing else I can fucking do. I am so fucking crazy that the only thing that I can do is get a microphone, amplify my fucking mouth, and the vibrational frequency of the word complicational corrections, titations, and I send them into your ear bones, and then you sitting there like, oh shit, I ain't never thought about it like that. That motherfucker's straight crazy. And then you're in the car riding home with your spouse like, interdimensional, is that real? I don't know. Are they looking at us right now? Is there somebody in the back seat that I can't see? Yes. Yes, there is. There's always a group of spirits that surround us, and they are not experiencing time like we do. Over there, you can blink your eye and 1,000 years will pass in our material world. The cool thing is when you pass, you can actually be injected any time period in the world. Because one time, whenever I was on this huge dose of DMT, I shot out of my body up into outer space. And whenever I got to this egg thing, I was inside the egg thing, I saw a light person. And the light person was messing with all the little levers and shit on the pad. And I was like, oh shit, what can I do here? And it was like, what do you want to do? And then it showed me the planet Earth. And it spun it like this. And the timeline was on top of it. And she was going back in time. And then she went forward in time. And I was like, oh shit, that's wild. And I was like, can I go anywhere? And she was like, yep, you can go in there and you can check it out. If you don't want to go to that time, you can come back and then go to another time, check it out, and you decide where you want to be incarnated into the next life. So basically what I'm saying is don't get caught up in the reincarnation cycle. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be reincarnated into this life. All you got to do is turn from the light. Turn from the light, people! Hell yeah. I saw a wheel laying right in here. Are you still in here?
Bed weight.
Okay, well, you come over here and get in this on-deck circle over here like you're batter up. This next batter we've got in the game today. Can you scooch over one? Will actually popped his cherry here, so this will be his 5th time doing stand-up comedy. Did you look at the premise?
Oh, I did, but I have other material.
Okay, well, I'm glad you do. So he's got 7 minutes. At the 1 minute mark, he will hear a ding, and that will give him 1 minute left. Y'all put your hands together for Will Ain't Right.
So I can agree with growing up poor. Growing up poor sucks. Sucks. But every now and then when your parents somehow scrounge up enough money, they'll get you this wonderful thing when you're 7, 8 years old called a Game Boy Color. Greatest thing I ever got. It's like a cell phone, but better. Had Pokemon Red, I think, was the first one I had. One day, I do something wrong. Can't remember what it was. I think I may have punched my brother. I can't remember. And I get grounded. Parents take my Game Boy. I'm like, you can't take my damn Game Boy. At least that's what I'm saying in my head anyway. They take the Game Boy. I was like, all right, I'm going to get it back. They leave us at home a lot. Leave us at home alone. There's 3 of us. Me and my brother the same age. So they leave. My mom locked her bedroom door. Said, that ain't going to work. I picked the lock. Got a little bedside table. Go find my Game Boy. Go back to my room and look at my brother mortified. He's like, what's wrong? There was a dick beside my Game Boy. He was like, huh? I'm like, there was a dick beside my Game Boy. What I didn't know at the time was my mom had a sex toy where she hid my Game Boy. Didn't know how to process that. A couple of years later, we got this wonderful thing called the internet. Do something wrong again. I think I failed a test. They decide they want to punish me. No video games. Okay, no big deal. I can handle no video games. No internet. Oh, no, hell no. Got to keep my hands busy somehow. Can't go outside because it's cold. Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition became my best friend. Just going, just turned hog cranking. Had to keep my hands busy somehow. Sports Illustrated, my dad's stash. Hell, Better Homes and Gardens was starting to look good at that point. Look, that Victoria's Secret fashion show, like, look, got to keep them hands busy. You took my video games, took my internet, what am I supposed to do? And then that's when the real punishment comes in. It's called a muscle spasm. Yeah, it's not fun. Can't do nothing at that point. Can't lay down. Can't touch it. Can barely even sit. And that's when I learned what real punishment was, and I did it to myself. So, who here has ever ended up a long relationship before? 5, 10 plus years. Recently, I ended a 20-year relationship with my first love. Her name was alcohol. Oh, she was a hoe. I loved her, but she did not love me. Sit there, have a bad day. She'd get a daughter, Jameson and Svedka involved. Next thing I know, I'm dancing butt-ass naked in the front yard. Woo! 2 times I ever been high. I was drunk at the same time. She decided she wanted to have a little fun with it. First time I hit a gravity bomb. Great time. Great time. Brother told me I couldn't hit the whole thing. Didn't know what I was doing. Hit the whole thing. Next thing I know, I'm laying on the couch. Trying to lift my head. He's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, my head feels like it weighs 10,000 pounds. Next thing I know, I'm slapping my face. He's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it. Fast forward a couple of years later. Just drunk on this wonderful thing called moonshine. She decided to let me have some fun. My brother and some friends were smoking behind the shed. I decided to get up there on the hay bale with them. Next thing I know, I'm doing hand signs like I'm in Naruto, and I thought I parted the trees like Moses did the Red Sea. So I decided, that's cool, I'm going to run for it. I take off, boom, run right into the first tree in front of me. I look at him like, the fuck are you doing here? Yeah, being crossfaded was fun. Got high on mushrooms for the first time a couple of months ago. Yeah, my brother was like, well, what movie you want to watch? I was like, we got to watch something electric. Let's watch Pixels with Adam Sandler. Yeah, Pixels. It's all fun and games. Halfway through the movie, I'm like, is it working? Next thing I know, little Centipede from the game Centipede started coming out of the TV. And I'm like, bruh, this is the best shit I've ever seen. It was. I thought like I was watching a 3D movie. Decide, you know what? I'm going to go out and play games with my friends. I didn't know how long that stuff was supposed to last. I ain't never done it before. It's just a stem and a cap. Get to the game store. Dude shows me a car. I freaking drop out the chair, scared out my damn life because the damn hand was coming out the car like it was about to grab me. It's like, don't you ever show me that shit again. Punishment. Back to punishment. Oh, I'm mentally punishing myself just being up here. I mean, like, I'm a glutton for punishment, I tell you what. But worst punishment I'd have to say I ever had. Some people might say the worst. When I was with my ex. Came home one night. Said she was mad at me for cussing out a person that cut me off in traffic. Said she wasn't going to give me none. I'm like, it's fine, you weren't giving me none anyway. How's that punishment? You know what, I'm going to close it off on that one.
All right, y'all give it up for Will, ain't right? All right, first off, Will lets us know that he ate mayonnaise sandwiches too as a child. I'm sorry for you. Being poor.
Sometimes we were just had enough to put ketchup on it too. Just,
okay, you're not supposed to put ketchup on a
yeah,
mayonnaise
you're not. I
sandwich.
hate ketchup.
If it was that way, it would be mayonnaise ketchup sandwich. Keep up, man. What the fuck? All right, so you got left alone at a young age. What age did they lock you in the bedroom?
Oh no, I broke into the bedroom.
Oh, they locked the bedroom to keep you out, not to keep you in. Because I was
Right.
about to be like, that is abuse.
I
That is
picked the
abuse.
lock. I picked
What if
the
a
lock
fire
to get into the
happened? Did they
bedroom.
tell you how to climb out the window? How old were you?
Around that, I was probably about 7 or 8.
Okay. All right, so internet, when you first got the internet, was it the dial-up?
Yeah.
Okay, good job. Did you know that the internet was developed by the scientists at CERN so that they could communicate in real time from around the world?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're smart. I like you. Did you know that idle hands do the work of the devil? That's why you masturbated until you seized up?
Oh yeah. I kind of figured that out after a while. Yeah.
I know this guy named Jesus. You need him in your life. Gravity bong?
Yeah.
Really? Aren't you the police?
I wasn't at the time.
Okay, but you said mushrooms a few weeks ago. You're still the police?
Don't get tested for it.
Yeah, but you do know there's cameras in here,
Oh
right?
shit.
It's okay, because comedy is this way. If one of your supervisors were to maybe see it by accident, because one of your rivals at work was like, "Fuck Will, I'm showing our supervisor, he does mushrooms." You have to say it was all just a joke and that you made it all up. None of it was real, okay? And then I'm not sure how long statute of limitations on child abuse is, but don't tell people that your mom locked you up in a bedroom.
I broke into the bedroom.
Yeah, what was in there that you wanted to see? Some
I
porn?
wanted my Game Boy back.
Oh, they took your Game Boy.
Yeah, they took my Game Boy.
Now, did you try to break into the room to where they wouldn't know that you broke into the room, and they would just be like, "Holy shit, the Game Boy just ended up back in his hand like magic"? I don't know.
Oh, I wasn't a rookie. I just snuck in and put it back.
You motherfucker. That's why you became the police, you sneaky son of a bitch. Telling lies left and right.
And you know, Eddie Murphy Raw was the first stand-up I ever watched.
Oh, man, look at whenever he took over as police in Beverly Hills Cop and he was telling all them older white people how to do their job, I was like, now we talking entertainment, finally. And I was like 8.
I was like,
Even then,
9
I
or
knew
10.
what good comedy was.
I was like 9 or 10 when I watched Eddie Murphy Raw.
And plus, that old when he did the old dude that was with the bald head, he just never fit in that movie. To this day, I'm like, why did they cast him in this role? He is goofy. Josh, you want to talk to this motherfucker about his 5th time up doing comedy?
Great sweater, first of all. Love the sweater.
Thank
Okay, I don't want to say too much else because I heard you were a cop and I'm double parked out there. And,
I'm not that kind of cop.
No,
Oh, okay.
He's a guard at.
I'm a real cop, bitch.
I'm a CO. We good.
Nice. Yeah, great set, man.
Thank
Great
you.
set.
What you think, Doug, about Will's 5th time?
Well, we have a lot in common, a lot of drugs that we have all kind of consumed on the same levels. And I like your comfort level on stage, man. For 5, you look comfortable. Yeah, I always bring up the fact you've never once brought notes up here or anything. You've gone and you hit the bell. You're giving me plenty of that. Your punches could be a little sharper. You know, you could get a little work there, but you're doing great, man. Thank you so much for keeping coming back.
Okay, so let me say this real quick before I let you go. Now, I'm ribbing you whenever I'm going back and forth with you. You're a good sport about it. I like that about you. You never come up to me after the show with like, "Man, you kind of hurt my feelings when you were telling me about my shit." Right? Well, you know, and you ain't had sex for 3 years, so you could get mad, and I would be like, "That's totally justifiable. He has not had sex in 3 years with a person."
Lots of self-control.
The person.
Self-control.
Let's go. Let's just call it self-control.
Unless you feel like you need to masturbate and there's no self-control, right?
Let's just call it self-control.
Okay, all right. All right. Well, I do want to say on a positive point that I am impressed with what Doug mentions about no notes, because even I have had moments where, because you know this is a weekly show, you got to come fresh, blah, blah, blah. Before I realized I could just rant and be stupid, I would like try to write this long fucking thing out and then write it 4 times, 5 times. Now, I do still write, but not like that anymore. I mean, I'm impressed with the way that you're able to do that, and so I think you should keep going forward. And if you want to learn more about the writing process of actually writing a punchline and doing in the form of jokes, you can reach out to me any old time. I got some tricks and some stuff you can do. All right, brother. Everybody give it up for Will Ain't Right. Is anybody else in here to perform? Give me a yay. All right, Mr. Sir, what is your name? You know what? I know Sean Collins, boy.
Did you play for the 76ers?
Yep, Sean Collins played for the 76ers in 1976. Memphis was discovered in 1976, same year. Minnesota was discovered in 1992. Nothing ever happened there at the end. It's really boring in Minnesota. I don't know. Y'all been there? Sean, come on up. Everybody put your hands together for my friend Sean Collins.
How y'all doing tonight? Pretty good? Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, it's great to know that there's people in here that do acid and also shrooms. I like your sweatshirt, by the way. That's not just for looks, right? You got some shrooms?
Not
Yes.
on me, but yeah.
Not on you. Okay, cool. Well, oh yeah, man. Psychedelics for the win. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of drugs, yeah. I like outside of comedy, I do a lot of regular work. You know, mostly Uber Eats, delivery driving. You know, and like it's what you think it is, kinda. You know, like you think like, okay, yeah, you're delivering milk, burgers, pizzas, you know, stuff like that. I want to let you guys know, it is 92.3% picking up Plan Bs from Walgreens.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
I'm so serious. No. Yeah. Deadass. Picking up Plan Bs from Walgreens. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just the item. You know what I'm saying? It's like it'll be a combination of items. It's the combination of items that I have to pick up from the Walgreens that really screws my head up. Okay, so like just the other day, I was picking up a delivery, alright? This customer ordered emergency contraceptive and a box of condoms. And I'm like, damn, this motherfucker got the Plan A and the Plan B.
Yeah.
You know, but it don't stop there, you know, because they also got,
Why now?
they got the emergency contraceptive, a box of condoms, and then they got a pregnancy test. You know? And like, there's a, you order that a lot. That's you? Okay, cool. Did you, man.
Don't forget the whipped cream.
Yeah. Did you see where I left in the notes? I told you, good luck. You see that?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I didn't get a tip. It must have came back positive. What happened? I don't know. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, man. But I'm originally from Long Beach, California. You know, and so I haven't been in by way of Charlotte. You know, I drove down here from Charlotte, North Carolina. When I moved to Carolinas about 9 years ago, I want to say the first thing I noticed is that those motherfuckers cannot drive. You know what I'm saying? Like they cannot drive for shit, and it's even crazier because they'll blame the other party for their bad driving. You know, it's ass backwards. It's really stupid, you know? I can't believe it, man. Motherfuckers can't drive, man. Niggas gotta learn how to drive. Yeah. See, I was driving the other day and I cut this motherfucker off, right? Yeah, that's right. Niggas can't drive. Hey, look me in my eye. Listen, niggas can't drive. I'm all those niggas. Yeah, so I cut this dude off, right? And I had my girl in the car. And she's like, you know, she's with me, you know, she's there. And then, but we get to a red light and the guy pulls up right next to us, you know? And I know he's pissed. Because I know I did some fuck shit. I know what I did. And I know he's pissed. I know I'm expecting the basics like, oh, use a blinker jerk or learn to drive, asshole, something along those lines, you know? But what actually happened next, I was not prepared for at all right? So this guy rolls his window down, puts his head outside, and he yells out, I hope you wake up in a saw trap, motherfucker. And I'm like, oh my gosh. You mean like the scary movie? And my girl, she just starts busting out laughing. She thinks this is hilarious. She's just like, oh shit. She said you're gonna wake up strapped to a chair and you're gonna have to cut off your pinky toe. And I'm like, damn bitch, are you writing a sequel? But she starts laughing until the dude says this. Yeah, and your bitch too. And she's like, so you're just gonna let him say that? And I'm like, yeah, probably. She was like, you better say something before the light turns green. I'm like, I know what that means. I'm not gonna get any pussy for a month if I don't say anything back. So I start panicking. I say the first thing that pops in my head right before the light turns green. I yell out, "Go fuck a bag of Legos, bitch!" And then I skirted off. My girl, she was like, "That was very good. That was very good. Wasn't expecting that. I like that." Yeah. Quick PSA right before I take off here. Just want to let you guys know. Witnessed something tragic the other day. You know, there was a young man standing on top of an apartment building, and unfortunately, he was contemplating on whether or not he should unalive himself. And I want to let you guys know, no matter what you're going through, no matter what, it is never that bad. All right, it's never that bad. Think of your friends. You know, think of your family. Everybody checking your people. You never know what somebody's going through. There's no reason this young man should have been standing on top of this building, deciding on whether or not he should jump. All right. And also, polymarket.com is a website where you could bet on any real-time event. And when the EMTs talked this dude down, I lost my parlay. I'm like, yo, I feel like I had pretty good odds. I was checking the wind resistance and shit. I was like, yeah, it's coming from the northwest, 22 miles per hour. I'm gonna 10x my money. You know? But you know, I've been going through some tough times myself. You know, like I found myself like standing on the edge of an apartment building. You know, I was looking down. I saw like, you know, I started thinking about my friends. You know, started thinking about my family. You know, and I just decided, you know, this isn't for me. You know. Not tonight. But I look down. It's like 3 motherfuckers that are just like, damn, shit. Motherfucker, why didn't he jump? And I'm like, polymarket.com. So I've been making like $6,000 a week faking my own suicide attempts. All right, thank y'all. I'm Sean Collins. I appreciate it.
Hold on to your mic. Hell yeah. Y'all give it up for Sean Collins. So we have been in communication a few times, correct?
Yes, we have.
Have you been to the show before?
Yeah, I headlined here for the first time about a year and a half ago.
That's right. Yeah. And Josh, this is your second time here too, correct? Second time. Okay, cool. All right. So first off, I apologize for not remembering. Okay. It's been a long year. You know what I'm saying? Also, the Plan B thing. I would have never even thought that. Now, my question is, you have to show ID when you get a Plan B, don't you?
No, you don't. It's crazy. I think that's the reason for the decline in teen pregnancies. Haven't you been paying attention to statistics?
Oh, shit. Okay. Plus, on top of that, have you pulled up to the same address over and over with the Plan B? Like, this bitch is really...
Oh, yeah. I definitely, like, sometimes I just see where the map's taking me. I'm like, I don't even need this shit.
Oh, wait, it's for Stephanie? Oh, yeah, I know right where she's at. I know right where she's... yeah, and so whenever he said to her that she was in a saw trap as well, the whole dynamic changed, right? The whole paradigm changed in her mind. So in her mind, now it's time for you to say something, right? And then you thinking automatically, I ain't getting no puntani for about a month if I don't say nothing right now. That is just automatically in your mind. She didn't have to tell you that at that particular time, right? You just knew that, right?
Yeah.
Y'all see how y'all can train motherfuckers? Y'all can train dogs. Now, the thing about dogs is they're really loyal. They always happy to see you, and they get right up in your face and won't do anything for you. What can I do for you today? That's a loyal dog. You see what I'm saying? Sean Collins is a loyal dog. But these bitches out here want Plan Bs 7-8 times a damn week. I don't think you can take them that much. They gonna stop working, bitch. They gonna stop working, and then you gonna have a devil baby. A devil baby's gonna pop out of you. Now, your response to him was what exactly?
Go fuck a bag of Legos.
Go fuck a bag of Legos, yeah. Now that was original. I was thinking that eat a bag of dicks would have been an acceptable answer as well, but yours was way more original and it sounded painful. I do not want to stick.
I was looking for something brutal. I didn't have a gun in the car, so I needed something to kind of.
I mean, it's kind of genius because if you think about it, in the middle of the night when you go into pee, you step on a Lego, that shit hurts, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine doing that with your dick.
That was the exact thought process.
Now this joke works really well with men, but I have a joke where I talk about my balls itching so bad that I can't breathe. When I scratch them, I literally stop breathing. I'm like, fuck, like that. Well, women can't really relate to that because they don't have balls. You like how I explain that to the You gotta explain this shit to people. Now, at the end, whenever he did his little commercial, he did that 90 degrees. That's what we call misleading the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all got surprised and y'all was like, "Oh shit, no, he did not. You trying to sell something to me, you motherfucker? Oh shit!" And that's called manipulation. Y'all are so easily manipulated. Damn. What you think, Josh, about Sean Collins?
Yeah, man, great joke structure on the suicide joke, really well crafted. I just want to point out, ma'am, about the Plan B joke. You said, "What about the whipped cream?" And you're exactly correct. I drive for Uber, and there's always like a snack. It's like a Dr. Pepper or a Reese cup. It's never just alone, you know.
Oh, you know what that is? It's the guy's by her in the bed, and she's like, "You gonna have to order." You gonna have to order me a Plan B. You came up in me, I can tell you. You gonna have to order me a Plan B, and I want some Haagen-Dazs, bitch. I want some Haagen-Dazs. Make me feel better, cause it's gonna make me cramp, bitch.
Yeah, man, great shit though. I don't want to say too much else. You are my ride home. And,
I knew it. Whenever they started giggling back and forth at each other, he was looking at him, he was looking at him, he was looking at him, and he was looking at him, and they was like, we talked about this in the car. Whenever I was like, don't you judge me like that, motherfucker. I will leave you here. Doug, what you got to say to Sean Collins?
Man, you're hilarious. Thank you so much for coming down and gracing us with your comedy, man. It's a beautiful thing. But something occurred to me, and it's weird how white people love to giggle when black folks use the N-word. Just like men like to giggle when women use the B word, you know, like, yeah, I can relate, but I ain't gonna say it.
Hey, what's funny is I held the pen like this, and I was like, should I write it down? and no lie, look, Sean, look, what's it say right there?
Yeah, right. He put fools can't drive.
Fools can't drive.
Fools.
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, when y'all started laughing when I said the N-word, I was like, damn, I haven't told the joke yet. Shit.
Yeah, I like it whenever you gotta look. Hey, you know, the first time I saw Pulp Fiction, I thought the character Jules was fucking intimidating as fuck because I saw it big on the screen. I was like the 4th seat back, and this motherfucker, and he come up, what does Marcellus Wallace look like with his Jerry curl and everything? And I was like, that motherfucker scary as fuck. And whenever Sean looked at that man, was like, I'm every nigga. I was like, that's all you had to say. God damn, boy.
And polymarker.com. I'm writing that motherfucker down. I'm taking that shit with me. Thank you very much for that. Good job, man.
Hell yeah. Y'all put it together for Sean Collins. Hell yeah. I was thinking about Josh coming back to the show today, and I was like, damn, I can't remember how funny he is. But I actually did a show with him not long after he came down here and did our show up in somewhere fucking bumfuck North Carolina. I don't know where it was. And I bombed really bad because, you know, sometimes you'll go to an area where everybody's a little cliquey and they know each other, and they did not know me. So they was like, no, not that motherfucker, no. But Josh did well that night, and I was always like, I said, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know why. My brain is really messed up. And it's from the programming, y'all. They programmed me. I'm a divergent, though. I resisted that shit. I'm an odd bird. You know what I'm saying? I'm resisting the reptilian mind that tells me that I should run or I should stay and fight. Instead, I will calmly tell you, I'm too old to fight. I got a gun. I will shoot you. Okay, so back up. I ain't fighting nobody no more. Yeah, that sucks. I can't run from the police anymore either. I'll just be like, I give up. Y'all come get me. Anybody else want to perform? That was it? All right, I am going to hand the night over to Mr. Josh Cascade. Am I saying your last name correctly? Caskey. I don't know why I want it to be like Cascade.
That's his name, and he can't wear it out, bitches.
Oh, no, hell no. I thought this was fake. Oh, hell no. I'm too young to die. Oh, shit.